This
Uh,
conference will now be recorded.
in AppDynamics, this course journey, we are going to learn all these things. It is not that I'm going to cover only these topic, because it is a mandatory topics that we are going to cover. There are times, there are small things that somebody can expect, like this. If you can explain a little bit, it will be a value add for me. So that what will I do? I'll take that small request so that we can cover as part of the course journey. It is not that whatever is defined we are going to take it. No, if you are telling your view, if that is really can achievable out of this training session, we can add it, and then we can go for the regular flow. So in the course journey, what I'm going to show you is, instead of showing this content, I'll show the tool straight away. Okay, yeah. So this is the AppDynamics SaaS version. We will go in detail when we are going for our regular course journey. For now, what I'm trying to show you, this is the AppDynamics SaaS version, where I did a application configuration. Okay, my application. In this course journey, those who are attending this training session, right? For them, I will give you two sample application. For those two sample application, whatever I'm telling you, right, the application agent or the machine agent or the DB agent or the user experience agent, those agents you can also do in your local machine, and then make use of this training session to get a lot of hands-on experience, so that you can talk to the people technically. Okay, it is not only a theoretical session. No, we are going to have a the practical understanding. I'm going to give you the sample application to you. You are going to install Apache Tomcat server in your machine, Node.js in your machine, and then you are going to deploy these application into your local, and you are going to follow the procedure, the whatever I'm going to say, so that you can have a hands-on experience. So that is how this course journey is designed. Okay, what I'm going to show you: app agent, machine agent, DB agent, user experience agent configuration, predominantly these configuration. So you can see app, user experience, database, server. So all these four agent configuration I'm going to show you. Along with that, dashboards and reports, and then alerts. Say I'm going to show you. You can see there is a JMeter script is currently running. That is actually creating a load in AppDynamics, which is a synthetic load creation, right? So there are people will ask this question also. If I am running a 1 hour test or 2 hour test in load runner and JMeter, whether I am able to see the data in AppDynamics or what. So that is also covered in our course content. So we are going to have an integration of load runner and JMeter with the AppDynamics tool. Okay, along with that, regular, say like this agent configuration, and then the integration part, and then this dashboards and reports part, and then alerts and notification part. And there are people will expect, will I able to do a thread dump and heap dump using this tool or what? I will show you how to take a thread dump and heap dump using AppDynamics tool. But anyways, the analysis will be done separately. But how to take the heap dump and thread dump in AppDynamics tool, I will show you. So many should understand this concept first. Why people are preferring this APM tools, right? First, we should have an understanding. Traditionally, those who are doing performance testing, right, using load runner, JMeter, Neoload, whatever the tool, okay, what they will do, they will prepare a script, execute different types of testing, and then they will prepare a report, and then they will provide it to the stakeholder. But will that report will be value add for the stakeholder? Most of the time, it is, the answer is no, because you will say the time taken is 5 seconds, the time taken is 8 seconds, the time taken is 10 seconds, like that. But you will not give any clarity where that time spent in each layer, whether it's a browser layer, or is it an app layer, or is it a DB layer, or where that exact time spent. So if you are not giving that kind of a flavor to the stakeholder, they will not treat your report as a value add report, right? They will think like, as though like it is a release level activity that you are doing. You provided your report, we are moving to our next release. So that should not be a eyewash or namesake kind of a testing, right? So in order to give some kind of a value to your work that you are doing, these APM tools are helping. say if we are going and value, for now I'm showing you this app agent, right? When you are going for our regular session, I'm going to show you the DB agent, server agent, those configurations as well, right? That time you have a understanding which layer actually contributing a lot of time. Then you will, what will you do? You will take that metric, capture that metric, and then you will provide it to the respective team, either a front-end developer or a back-end developer or a DBA person, to whomever you want to share the data. You will share it and make the things done, right? So that will be a value add for them. You are saying exactly at this point of place you are having a issue, you are telling it to those developers or the DBA person. For them it is very easy to fine tune that issue. Instead of generically saying that there is an issue, they cannot go and read 1 lakh of code or 2 lakhs of code to identify the issue, right? So these APM tools are value adds. These APM tools are helping them in doing their job little easy. So it is our involvement, say a performance tester or a performance engineer, their involvement is showing them you are going to learn this tool in such a way you are contributing to the issue identification, you are contributing to the problem statement. So that is a way this APM tools are using in industry. A lot of APM tools are there, say Neuralink, Dynatrace, AppDynamics, lot of tools are there. But we are going to see very detailed understanding of AppDynamics. We are going to understand very depth about the AppDynamics tool. Okay, I'll take a small pause here. If someone is having any question, please ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I'm new to this performance testing. What is this agent actually?
Um, Agent is nothing but this AppDynamics is having a small software, not even software. You understand, like a JavaScript. Okay, they are putting this into their environment, say like app server or DB server or machine server, right? In that, if they are installing it, what this script will do, it will do the marker kind of a thing. It will say like here to here how much time it is taking, how much CPU, memory, disk, thread, heap, like that it will do the purpose. That is called as agents. These agents, see, in the APM world, say like Dynatrace or AppDynamics or whichever the APM tools, all these APM tools are working in the concept called agents. So these agents will sit in the respective infrastructure, respective place, and it will collect the performance metric and will set it to the UI. This is a UI, whatever I'm showing you, right? This is a UI that will actually display the data whatever is collected by those agents. Did I answer your question, Sramanch? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, this is
Yeah.
Siddhant this side.
Well, please, one at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like no, App Dynamics covered the APM part, app server or the web server. So are you going to cover the remaining part which are from apart from APM, like the MQ, all those part?
MQ in the sense, in what way you're saying? Please elaborate a little.
Like no, if we tell that the app dynamics to be the APM, like the application performance monitoring, that only comes up for your application server or the web server. So
Hmm.
suppose I have a call to a third party application, let's say payment
Hmm.
gateway or anything. So are we going to cover that also in this course? Like the
Specifically,
I am talking about the end user monitoring.
yeah, that is what. See, specifically saying, whenever data is traveling from one layer to the other layer, AppDynamics will actually detect it. Okay, it will detect it. It will say it is a middleware or it is a third-party component, whatever. But when you want to deep dive into that, you need to install a agent into that, the either whatever you call it as third-party or a middleware. Okay, so you have to install a agent, then only you will get a deep, detailed understanding, or else you will only get a high level metric. That is how it is working. Okay.
Yeah, so
In
that course, So
Yeah.
are we going to concentrate on a one directional flow or a bidirectional flow? That's what.
Everything will be there. Everything will be there. And also specifically MQ we are not covering in our the application that we are doing and the flow that we are going to do, right? In that MQ is not there. So we'll cover say like a data triggered application layer, DB layer, how the data is spending in each layer, in the browser how much it is spending, in the machine how much it is spending, in the app layer how much it is spending, in the DB, like that only. MQ is not in the list. But if you wish, I will. If you wish, I'll explain about that. But for me, it doesn't matter. Like I can explain about what will happen if that is available with the MQ server. Okay.
Yeah, like many times we see, right, the messenger gets stuck on the MQ part. So
Hmm.
like how can we see that thing? That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
If we
See,
have a,
this queue length can be everywhere, right? It is not about MQ. It may be a processor queue or it may be a disk queue, whatever, right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
so that understanding I will explain for sure. The sample is not with us, right? Then I cannot say, commit with that. So I can explain you maybe, but in the sample MQ is not available. Maybe in your organization, if it that your architecture is having MQ, correct? That is why you are asking
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. I will give you the understanding, maybe theoretical understanding I can give you for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, hi, Gauspir here.
Yeah, Gospel.
Uh, yeah, now, apart from this regular traditional flow, are we going to concentrate on any of the dashboards? Like we'll be having synthetic and monitoring dashboards. So what type of dashboards we'll be covering? Or any
See,
only, yeah,
yeah, in our course journey, there is a dashboard creation and the report creation session is there, dedicated session. In that, I will show you what are all the different metrics, different graphs. What is the understanding of each and every dashlet that you are creating? Those understanding we will be doing. There is a session. There is a dedicated session is there. Those.
okay, yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Just a follow up to the question that before somebody asked, right, about MQ or something.
Hmm.
I mean, are we going to cover any batch process testing kind of thing? I mean, apart from this HTTPS, what other protocols that we are talking about?
No. Batch is not there. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Just have a suggestion, like if you can, hi,
Your voice is breaking.
yeah, hi, Dave here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, clear. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just telling if you can quickly run through the overall part that you are going to cover. So based on that, probably we can check if we have anything that we can add up or give any suggestions to. Otherwise, sorry that we should have actually gone through what are the things that are already included in your course. But if you can run through quickly, so we can add it up if something
Yeah,
is required.
sure. Give me a second. So, this is what I'm going to explain you the SaaS version and the on-premises version. But our course journey is with the SaaS model because of the licensing constraint only. We are not covering the on-premises one. But on the working side, is both are same. On the working side, maybe the installation side a slight difference between the on-premises and the SaaS. And then I will explain you there is a concept called the metric browser in AppDynamics. Say entire metric, whatever each layer, right? App, DB, even the user experience, machine layer, all the metrics are collected into a common place called the metric browser in AppDynamics. In that place, you can see a holistic understanding or merged understanding of all the metrics. And you also have an option to export that data into a REST API format. Okay, you can take that REST URL and then put it in the Postman tool to extract the data which is there from the AppDynamics, and you can maybe create your own internal dashboard or anything can be done using the output of that REST API. That is we are going to show you. Okay, predominantly in the last batch only people expected to show that Postman thing also. If you wish, I can show that as well. The Postman, how data is extracted from AppDynamics, how it is extracted in Postman. If you guys somebody wish to take that, I can take that as well. And then all the agent configuration, server agent, database agent, machine agent, all those things by using the sample application that I told you, right? 2 sample application. I will show you maybe how to install the Tomcat server, how to deploy our WAR file, and then how to do the configuration, how the data is coming into AppDynamics, whether it is application layer data, how machine layer data is coming. I want to do a front-end metric capture, how to do that. And then if I need to configure MySQL DB or a MongoDB, how we are going to do the configuration, those steps I will be covering it. And also in the alerts and notification side also, I am going to cover policies and health rules. So how you will define a policy, if the policy or the health rule is breaching, how an alert is triggered to your mail or whatever the thing that you are setting it up, right? So you can set it and then take the alert into your mailbox, or it may be a SMS, whatever. So that is what we are going to cover. And then in the dashboard, I will be showing you how to create a dashboard, what are all the different options available, whether it is a time series one, or you want to create a pie chart, or you want to create only a metric data. Like that, we are going to see a different flavor of things as well. And then we will be showing you a report creation, how a report will be created, those stuffs as well. Along with that, this also I covered already. There is a critical concept called call graph. Actually, using this, you can easily identify where that important issue happened, the performance issue happened. Say it is a hierarchy, right? Some request is triggered means it is not only the request. There will be additional method, additional class name, method name, object name, like that. There will be a hierarchy. There is a concept in AppDynamics called as call graph, wherein you can see from where the request triggered and from where the issue traversed, and which layer actually the culprit, the issue has happened. So with that understanding, you can easily identify the issue and then you can report to the respective stakeholder. That is also we are going to cover. Call graph concept we are going to cover. And then AppDynamics integration part, as I mentioned, load runner JMeter integration, that I'm going to show you how to do a injection in the load runner and the JMeter, how a data is going to come in the AppDynamics, so that it is not, sometimes people will say whether it is a real user data or it is a tool level data. So that using these integration concepts, you can segregate whether the data is coming from load runner or whether the data is coming from JMeter, or it is a real user data which is coming from the real user browser. So with that, you can easily differentiate the different aspects. So these are the predominant things we are going to cover as part of our training session. Dev, did I cover your question, Dev?
Yes. So probably I have a point to add, if you don't mind me telling now.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah. So actually I'm a beginner into like the APM tools and into performance engineering area. So I'm not sure, but like if the servers are deployed into cloud or in Docker containers, then anything changes in terms of installing your agents or fetching your dashboard and data?
No. See, anyways, Docker. What will be the Docker? Docker will be again a Windows or Linux, right? That is how the understanding. Say Docker containers, Kubernetes, whatever the concept that you are doing, ultimately it follows certain procedures, and the traditional stuffs only will be there. But in the last class also somebody asked related to Docker. Since we don't have Docker available with us, but I showed them where the data is coming in the AppDynamics with an example. Okay, with an example, I showed a flow, like not the realistic flow. I showed them a data where it will come Docker related information, and I provided them the theoretical understanding, like if you are doing Docker monitoring, how the information will come. Maybe for your benefit, I will note this as well. Okay. I'll note this so that when you are going for our regular journey, I will try to cover this Docker containers concepts as well. Okay, Dev?
Sure. Thank you so much, Sarvan.
Yeah, Dev. You're welcome.
Hi, sir. I would also like to know if you can explain us something more detailed with end user monitoring, because I work for a mobile app, so it's a little crucial to even touch into the topic if possible. Thank you.
See, the end user monitoring is of Magna. The end user monitoring is of two ways. Maybe the channel to channel. Web also it is considered to be the end user. Okay. Channel wise, you are saying about mobile. Anyways, we are covering the end user aspect in the web. Mobile, since we are unable to do, because even then, if you are instrumenting the mobile device, you have to put it in the app store or iPhone things, so that you need to upload it and then take the data, right? That is the only thing we are not doing it. But as you requested, I'll cover the mobile related end user experience.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Mobile related end user experience concepts. Yeah, sure. Sorry, somebody asked MQ also. I did not note the name. Okay. Sorry. It is made. Okay. Yeah. MQ, I don't think we'll get you need to have a infrastructure to simulate it. I think this Docker, at least I can explain it theoretically. This MQ also I can see this all theoretical. Okay, theoretical. And this also can, Docker also will be a theoretical concept only. This also a theoretical concept only. So these three, when we are going for our regular course journey, I will explain you guys like how it is really happening in the real world. Not much of a things are there. Don't get worried like how it will be different from other things. No, if you are covering the agents that I'm showing you, right, the app agent, machine agent, DB agent, it will all cover. These are subset of those. These are subset. Okay, don't think like it is a different aspect or what. This is again a machine agent one. This is again an app agent one, like that. Only the stack is different. Stack in the sense Docker is a different version of the infra. MQ is a different version of the app agent. End user experience is a different version of the web end user experience. So almost we are covering the remaining things. It is a different technology. Say like if those who are doing in load runner performance testing, day in day out they are doing the load runner performance testing. If I am going and asking them, will you do web services performance testing, it is like similar thing, right? Anyway they are doing the performance testing in load runner. Web services performance testing is a subset of it, that's all. This is a similar way. This app agent, machine agent, these are the critical things. This is all the entire radar. Under that, these concepts are a subset of those entire radar. So we will explain that when we are going for our regular course journey. Okay. Okay, guys, we are good, right, with the way we are going. And how this training journey will be there, guys. This is how what I'm doing now, right? I encourage people to ask question. I will clarify. If it is very small explanation, I can straight away explain that. If it is a real time taking explanation, what I will do, I will take an excuse from you guys, because I should not disturb the flow of other people, right? So we will cover it, and then if time permits, I'll take it at the end, or I over the phone I'll explain to the respective person. Because sometimes what will happen, there are specific issue for the specific their own organization issue that I don't want to explain in the forum, right? So I will take those questions in the separate over the phone. I'll try to explain to them, try to resolve their issue. But if it is a question has to be explained in the forum, everyone should get the benefit. I'll try to answer it in the forum itself, guys, so that everyone will get that essence of that issue. So you will learn a lot of things. You will learn all the concepts and things in that. Okay. So guys, those who attended this demo session, right, please put your mail IDs in the chat, mail IDs and the phone number, because we have a group running. I hope there are people are already part of the group, but if somebody is not there, please put your phone numbers in the the GoToMeeting chat, so that I'll try to add it in the WhatsApp group. Any informative things that are related to AppDynamics, I'll try to share, so that you guys can get the benefit. What is really happening in the APM world? What is happening in AppDynamics? Where they are growing? What implementation that they are doing? Those kind of information I'll try to share with you people. Okay, I hope all the way I covered whatever we are going to do it. Okay, say an example. I'll maybe touch base with little things. Okay, say in the right hand side, for now everything is green. Say everything is green. So as a infrastructure monitoring guy, or a APM guy, or a performance tester guy, these are roles. Okay, these are roles. What I will do, I will monitor this application. Okay, if there is any red color things are coming, red in the sense like something is alarming, from there my investigation will actually start. Say an example, in this case, there are 856 errors are there. If I click it, it will straight away open it in the metric browser. This is what I told you, there is a place called metric browser. This will I will explain in detail when we are going for our regular class. That time I'll tell you what is this metric browser, what are all the metrics that are covering, those things and all I will try to cover. And if you want to see the exception related data, there is exception tab. What it will do, it will try to go to the exception place, and it will tell you what are all those exceptions. It is a 500 error, or duplicate key error, HSQL error, which means that with this you can easily understand, is it an application server or it is a DB layer issue. From there your investigation is starting. See this AppDynamics tool, wherever you double click it, you try to double click it, it will give you an additional information. It will give you an additional information. Say if I go to the tiers and nodes example, I'm going to the tiers and nodes. In my case, I am monitoring only one server. So I'm trying to show you guys, if I want to deep dive into the issue, how I can do the deep dive. It will show you the flow map like this. If I double click it, or if I go to the memory detail or server detail, JVM detail, all those are in a single place. So straight away you can see that, is it a issue something related to JVM, or what is it a issue something related, somebody asked Dockers, right? There is a place called containers. Okay, there you will see the container related information. So when we are going for our regular course journey, I will explain these each and everything, how to get the data, how to debug the data, how do you identify, is that a real potential performance issue, whether it is a fake performance issue or a true performance issue, how you are going to report your the stakeholder. All those things I am going to explain to you, each and everything, each and every tab we are going to go through, and then how we are identifying the performance issue, everything we are going to explain. Each and everything we are going to explain. That is how AppDynamics tool we are going to cover. It is not only AppDynamics tool related things, guys. Say there are people are very new to this, right? They are new to this. So what I am going to give you a fundamental understanding of performance testing, and then a performance engineering concepts. While going through itself, I'll explain that. And also there are times, what will I do, I'll while explaining it, I'll say this is an interview related question. So it is again an interview preparation point of view also. I'll try to explain you guys, like this is a something, some question usually an interviewer will ask, like that I'll explain. So it is a combination, right? New to the APM tool, interview preparing aspect, learning the tool, from installation, configuration, data collection, everywhere we are going to cover it. It is a end-to-end coverage that we are planning to do. Okay, and also as you saw now, there are people are requesting, we are taking whether it is really possible. I am not giving you any false commitment until if it is really doable, we are going to take that and we are going to complete in our regular journey. So this is how the session will be. So you guys have an interaction in the session itself. If you feel like something has to be explained one more time, so I'll explain with a different example so that you will get it clarified. That is how this entire course journey will be there. It will be an interactive session, will be a discussion session. You guys can learn learn detail about this application performance monitoring or the management tool AppDynamics. Okay, I'll again take a pause here. If you have any question, you can ask.
What is the duration of this course?
Uh, it is usually planned as minimum of 15 days. Okay, minimum. Okay, because that is what I mentioned now. If somebody is asking something in detail, so what will I do? I'll explain that, right? In that case, there are 1 or 2 days maybe spillover again. So that is what I'm saying. It will be a minimum of 15 days. Maybe it will go beyond that. But 15 days we are planned to do that. Sometimes if it is going 1 or 2 days extra, that will be covered. It is not that tight time based. We are not going. We are going with a minimum 15 days of coverage, and then we are on the course level understanding. Say now you people added some 2 to 3 topics. Maybe it will be little more time consuming things. So it will take 1 or 2 class extra. So in that way we'll try to cover it.
Whether the
Okay.
working style of this Dynatrace and App Dynamics will be same, or it will be different. Dynatrace will be different and App Dynamics will be different.
Yeah, I'm
The
the one
work.
who is taking the Dynatrace also in Isha. So I will explain why we are going for this course journey, right? I will definitely explain a difference between the App Dynamics and the Dynatrace for sure. Answer to your question, Dynatrace working in the concept called one agent. There is a concept called one agent in Dynatrace. Here the concept is little different. Architecturally they are little different, but conceptually in the sense both are installing agent, taking data, displaying it in UI. That is a conceptually they are same, but the work wise or the deployment wise or the agent related information wise they are little different. The both of them are
Bo-
little different.
Both are agent-based monitoring tool,
Yeah,
APM
yeah,
tools on it.
yeah. Usually they are, see, that is what agent based, and they'll that is what when you're telling to the customer, you should be little careful, because customer will always have a doubt on when you are using these terms, because what they will think whether you are going to take their data or what. So we have to tell them clearly it is a wrapper around your actual infra or the actual application. We are not doing a actual instrumentation most of the time. Only in user experience, no, you will try to add your JavaScript inside your HTML file. Other than that, the agents which are running are wrapper around. I will explain. I will explain when you are going for our regular journey. What is that wrapper around? Why we are telling like this? So when you are explaining to the customer, it is a agent which is wrapper around your application, which is getting the metric. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharvana, Jagdish here. Sharvana, for App Dynamics, do we need to have any corporate account to get the trial account for this
Yeah,
course?
actually saying, when you're logging in, you should use your organization mail ID. But we are working on it. We are trying to give our training center IDs to the students, but not in volumes. Okay, we are trying to provide the user accounts to you. Those who really don't have anything that I can straight away go and create it, you guys can definitely create it, or else no other go. There are students will be doing their App Dynamics learning also, right? For them, we'll try to support them in creating the account and give it to them. We are doing that as well.
Okay, fine. Yeah, because few people are not working and few people are working in a corporate company, so either they
Yeah.
can use the corporate IDs and then get it easily. But
Yeah.
few people they have Gmails or other
Yeah.
accounts. So it's
Dynatrace is the one which is allowing the user ID to be created using Gmail. App Dynamics, so you have to use your corporate ID, but if you are unable to create it, we'll try to help you out. On a
sure.
at least a shared basis, we'll try to help you out, because we are creating an account that can be shared with one or two students. Yeah.
Okay, good. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sarvana, possibly one last thing, like you mentioned that while covering the course, you'll mention out which are the things that will be, the interview related things. But at the end of the course, are you keeping a day or two just to give a kind of a revise about the interview stuffs, plus which are being done by a performance engineer who is monitoring through an APM, that how the overall process they'll follow in an organization, so that it gives us a kind of a wrapping up idea that how to actually work in an organization with this, because I'm just asking from an higher point of view, that's all.
Yeah, Dev. Your question is really valid because to the ground, those who are working will be these performance engineers or the infra monitoring guys or these performance testers, right? So when I'm going to take the journey itself, right, that time itself I will cover this aspect. Well, usually I'll cover because what people are really doing on the ground. I saw many people are only working in this tab alone, dashboards and reports tab alone. I saw many people. Enterprise level companies, offshore people, they will not give access, so they will only do this monitoring. Onshore people will have tab level information. So what I will do when I'm covering, right, I will cover all these as well, different aspects, how people are doing, what they are really doing on the ground, what you have to do, in what way you can learn all these things. Like that only I will be covering it. For sure it will be there. We'll cover that.
Okay, because I'll just trailing through your question, which you said that APM is not only about reporting the high level stuff, which doesn't add value to customers' real level of execution, but like the deep dive into the actual issues and reporting them so that it can be a real value add for them. That is
Yeah,
what I
true.
wanted.
True. That is the way I'm going to cover it, right? Say now itself you saw that I started error from the exception level. I started, right? From the exception I'm starting. So like that, a realistic example I will show you when you are going for the regular code journey. What will I do? I'll take an example. From there I'll deep dive whether it is going to the app layer or it is going to the DB layer. That is how we'll explain it. And then how you will take the data, whether queries are coming or app level informations are coming, or in the meantime I'm going to have this the heap dump enabled or thread dump enabled, right? So you will have different variety of understanding. It is not only you are going to observe it. I'm not going to give the knowledge in that way. I'm going to apply your knowledge and then bisect, say like this is what issue, this is what the problem statement, and then how we are going to come out of it. Those understanding I'm going to bring you. So at the end of this course, what you are really going to do, you are going to see this application in a different angle, not like a performance tester. What he or she will do, no, they will prepare script, execute, report, that's all. They will not even bother what happened after that, whether it went to production, what issue happened, whether is there a fallback happened, some issue came back to QA, or what, did you do any retest. Those understanding will not be there at all, right, when you are doing a performance testing. But if you take this performance engineering kind of an activity, or the APM tool monitoring guy, they have all information actually saying. They have a outage related information. They have current issue that are actually available, known issue about those details. They will have a one layer above information when compared to the normal performance tester. So we are going to travel in this journey to understand from a performance engineer perspective. But I don't want to mention it as performance engineer because you are not going to tune it, or you are not going to do anything on that. You are going to only report it. You are say like one layer below to the performance engineer, but you are doing a job related to performance engineer. You are reporting the ultimate issue. You are reporting the ultimate issue, but you are not doing any fine tuning aspect. So we are stepping into the performance engineer level. That is how we are going to cover this tool, Dev. We will be doing that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sarvana.
Yeah, Dev.
Uh,
So
Sarvana,
Sarvanam,
yeah,
Please, guys, one at a time, please.
yeah, Sarvana. This is Jagdish again. So,
Yeah.
do we have any certification? I think I heard there is a certification for App Dynamics and Neuralink things. So, like after this course undertaking, do we need to have some project work experience? Then it's good to take a certification, or after this course, good
Not
to take it?
only in my experience, Jagdish, not only
Yeah.
this tool, any tool that you have a work experience will value add. Actually, it's a value add
Oh,
because you know the
okay.
tab level information, sub tab level information, data information. Those information will
Mm,
be there when you are working on the ground. But one more thing
mm,
also, not on these course contents are prepared by the tutorial that they are maintained in their website level. If you take load
okay.
runner example, if you work for 10 years in load runner, even then you will get only 70% or 75% in the certification exam,
Yeah.
because those questions are prepared in their tutorial theoretical content. Correct, right? That is how they prepare. They'll not go with your experience. They'll prepare in the
Yeah.
tool level, tab level, sub tab level, hyperlink level data only prepared in the certification. So you need to have a mixture of your real world experience and the mixture of your theoretical understanding. That is the reason, no, I
Okay.
always encourage people, if something is there, you try to understand it with the theoretical understanding also. That should be a theoretical understanding. It is not that
Okay.
I know how to create script, I know how to play back. Why should I read theoretical understanding? No, no, no. That is not the right way. If you at least click F1, function reference, you are going. In Loadrunner, I'm saying, F1, you are going to the function reference, you are learning the tool, right? Similar way, you have to have a theoretical understanding and also a ground level understanding to clear these certifications.
Okay.
Yeah?
Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Jagdish. Yeah. Welcome.
So
So,
Sarvanam, both the application which we are using, both are a single tier and a single node application, or will be having some complex application to work around?
one application is single tier, single node. The other application is two tier. That is what I told you. There will be a sorry. Your answer to your question, everything is single tier, because if we are going to install it in my laptop only, right? Obviously, it is a single tier. Okay, but I'm going to show you a 2-agent installation using that single application. Ultimately, you consider as a 2-tier also, because we are having an infrastructure constraint and then licensing constraint. Okay, that is the reason I'm going to install it in my laptop itself, all those things in my laptop itself, and then I'm going to show you. But you take it like it may be a 2-tier architecture also. If you are having DB in the different machine and then app in the first machine, you can do that as well. But this licensing, right, whatever the AppDynamics licensing for the learning purpose they are giving, right, you should have everything in a single machine. That is how they are treating. Okay, they are treating everything in a single machine because it is a learning purpose they are giving this the licensing. If you wish to have multi-tier, multi-architecture, you need to procure license.
Okay, fine. So it will be a single node and a single tier application, right?
Yeah. But I will explain. There are two app I told you, right? That second app I am going to show you app agent installation, DB agent installation in the same application. I will show you a data coming from app agent, data coming from DB agent as well. That I will show you integrated version, integrated view.
Oh,
I will show you.
yeah, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, if nobody is having any question, we'll wrap up our the demo session. Those who are interested that we are good to go with the course, please contact Mr. Kumar sir for the further communication details. Okay, his number is 80199
What are the class timings?
52427. I think predominantly this will be the time. I think predominantly it will be 8 to 9. Probably we need to have how many people are going to join, right? If it is a US or Australia timing, we'll try to maybe we'll adjust with half an hour. That will be the difference. We'll update you on the timings for sure. I would say it will be this time only 8 to 9. If some conflict between the US and the Australian students, we'll try to have 8:30 to 9:30 or the same 8 to 9. That is how we are planning.
Hello, Sarvan.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Sarvan, just please correct me if my understanding is wrong. As you know that through agent, your load generator controller, they are communicate to each other. Similarly, here in AppDynamics, we are just installing the agent in every server, and at the same time, through agent, we are retrieving the data from every server. Is that understanding is right?
Your understanding is 100% correct. Yeah.
It's right.
Right. Your understanding is right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. So this is a Kumar sir's number. Those who want to get the further informations like class timings and then the further class the login details and other stuffs, please reach out to Kumar sir. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining this demo session. I hope we'll all travel together in this App Dynamics course journey. Let's all learn App Dynamics. Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you. Thank you.
One last thing, probably. Which day you're going to start up these classes? Like next week, Monday, or how is it?
Probably Monday. Probably Monday we are planning to start.
Okay, and any possibility to make it around 7:30ish Indian time? Or you have
Dev, yeah, Dev, that is what I did not tell you straight away the timing, right? Because it is a mixture of people will be there. The time slots will decide. Probably it is 8 to 9. That is what I committed, 8 to 9. We'll maybe do a check one more time, Dev. Okay.
Yeah, just to keep the possibility.
8 to 9, 8 p.m. to 9.
8 to 9. 8 to 9 we are planning now, but we'll confirm you guys. We'll confirm you for sure. We'll confirm you just after all the people are joining, right? It is mixture of US and the Australia timings, right? So we are trying to fit in a common time. We'll try to have by 8 to 9, and there for you, we'll check and get back to you there for sure.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you there. Thanks all. Bye bye.